We have to end our video with the cases of maximum power delivered. So for maximum power delivered, in the first case, these two should be complex conjugate of each other, and in second case, whenever the load is purely resistive, in that case, this should be the magnitude of this Zs. RL should be the magnitude of this Zs. Then only the maximum power will be delivered. Now let's see one example. In the figure, the value of load resistor. So we have to determine the value of load resistor which maximizes the power. As you can see, my source resistance is resistance plus inductor, and we know that what is inductive impedance. Inductive impedance is j omega L, and omega value is provided in the from the source. So it is Vm cos 10t. Our standard equation for the input is Vm cos omega t or Vm sin omega t. So what is value of omega here? Omega value is, if I compare, omega value is 10 and inductor value is 1. So this Zs will be j omega L. So j into 10 into 1. So that means 10j. Now our load is nothing but purely resistive. So in that case, it will be, for maximum power delivered, it will be under root Rs square plus Xs square. So under root of 10 square plus under root of this impedance is 10j. So under root of 10j, because our source impedance is now 10 plus resistance plus inductive impedance is j10. J is the complex number. Okay, so it will be under root 10 square plus 10 square, that means under root 200, and under root 200 value is 14.14 ohm. So this was the question asked in one of the prestigious exam. Okay, now let's see third theorem. Next theorem. So next theorem is Millman's theorem. So what Millman's theorem is saying? So any number of parallel voltage sources, this is one parallel voltage source with resistance, parallel voltage source with resistance, parallel voltage source with resistance, can be reduced to one voltage source V equivalent in series with equivalent resistance R equivalent. So without applying any equation, by using only two formulas, you can replace the parallel voltage sources and parallel voltage source with resistance with one voltage with one resistor. So but this must be, all sources must be in parallel to each other, then only we can use the Millman's theorem. So Millman's theorem also helps us to reduce the circuit analysis. Okay, so what it is doing, parallel voltage with resistance, parallel voltage with resistance, parallel voltage with resistance is replaced to one voltage with resistance. Okay, now so what is the value of V equivalent? V equivalent is given by this formula, V1 upon R1 plus V2 upon R2 plus V3 upon R3 whole divided by 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Simple formula. So V equivalent is V1 upon R1 plus V2 upon R2 plus V3 upon R3 divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Okay, then our R equivalent is given by 1 upon 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, and if there are 4-5 sources, then also you can expand this formula. So this is the formula for R equivalent. Okay, what if the voltage polarity is different? So in that case, instead of plus, you should take minus. Suppose here minus plus is there, this is minus, this is plus. So in that case, you should take minus before voltage. Okay, so first example, using Millman theorem, find the value of voltage across AB. Also find R equivalent for given circuit. So use the formula of Millman theorem. Formula for V equivalent is V1 by R1 plus V2 by R2 plus V3 by R3 divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So what is value of V1? 10 upon 5 plus what is value of V2? 2 upon R2. R2 is 4 plus V3 value is 8 upon resistance is 2 whole divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So 1 by 5 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So 10 by 5 is 2. So 2 plus this 2 by 4 is 0.5. So you should always use the calculator whenever a question is based on Millman's theorem. And 8 by 2 is 4 whole divided by this 1 by 5 is 0.2, 1 by 4 is 0.25 and 1 by 2 is 0.5. So with the calculator you can easily find out the value. So 2 plus 4 6 plus 0.5 6.5 divided by point this denominator is 0.5 plus 0.2 0.7 plus 0.25 means 0.95. So 6.5 divided by 0.95, the answer comes out as 6.84 volt. So the V equivalent voltage is 6.84 volt. Okay, next we will determine R equivalent. So this is the formula for R equivalent: 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. That means 1 by 1 divided by 1 by R1 is 5 plus 1 by R2 is 4 and R3 is 2. So this will be 1 upon 0.95 and 1 upon 0.95 is 1 upon 0.95 is 1.05 ohm. Simple. 1.05 ohm. So this is the value of R equivalent for question number 1. Now let's see one more example. Use Millman theorem to find voltage between P and Q. So these are parallel voltages. We have to convert into one voltage. Okay. The formula for voltage is V1 by R1 minus V2 by R2, because here it is minus to plus. Polarity is minus to plus. Okay. So V1 value is 10. R1 value is 5. V1 by R1 and minus V2 value is 8 and this value is 4 divided by R1 plus R2. R1 is 5, so 1 by 5 plus 1 by 4. So luckily here it is, and R2 is 1 by 4. So 10 by 5 is 2, 8 by 4 is also 2. So V equivalent value is 0. So for this question V equivalent value is 0 upon something 0. Okay, now we will try to find the R equivalent. So even though the V equivalent is 0 for this network, our R equivalent will have some value. So let's find out the value of R equivalent. Okay, but in the question they have just asked what is the voltage between terminal P and Q, and if you are interested to find the R equivalent, you can just simply find 1 upon 1 by R1 1 by 5 plus 1 upon 1 by R2 1 by 4. So 0.2 plus 0.25 0.45. So 1 upon 0.45, you can get the value from calculator. I don't have the value. 1 upon 0.45 will be the value of R equivalent. So one concept we have learned, that even though V equivalent is 0, but R equivalent is non-zero. Okay, and with negative minus plus, then you have to take minus in the formula. Okay, thank you.